7 years old. For most people, it's a birthday, maybe a party with family, maybe some reflection on getting older. But from a financial planning perspective, 70 is the most important age in your entire retirement. It's the moment when several critical financial windows close permanently. And the decisions you make at 70 or fail to make will determine whether you maximize your lifetime benefits or leave hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. I've managed retirement assets for over 40 years. I've worked with thousands of people navigating this exact transition, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that age 70 is not optional. It's not just another year. It's a hard deadline for 3 specific moves that have enormous financial consequences. Most people are completely unaware of this. They turn 70 without any sense of urgency. They think they have time. They think these decisions can wait. And by the time they realize the opportunity has passed, it's too late. The window has closed. And they've permanently reduced their lifetime benefits by $50,000, $80,000, sometimes over $100,000. So today I'm walking you through 3 mandatory moves you must make at age 70. Not 71, not 72, 70. These moves are time sensitive. They require action at this specific age. And if you're approaching 70 or you've recently turned 70, you need to execute these 3 things immediately. Move number 1. File for Social Security at age 70, not later. This is the most misunderstood aspect of Social Security timing. Everyone knows you can delay Social Security from your full retirement age to 70 to get higher benefits. For every year you delay, your benefit increases by 8%. That's an incredible guaranteed return. So delaying makes sense. But here's what most people don't understand. The delayed retirement credits stop at age 70. There is zero benefit to waiting past 70. If you delay to 71 or 72, your monthly benefit doesn't increase at all. You're just leaving money on the table. Every month you wait past 70 is a month of benefits you'll never get back. Let me show you the math. Your full retirement age benefit is $3,000 monthly. If you delay to 70, that becomes about $3,720 monthly, a 24% increase. That's $44,640 annually. Now, if you file at 70 and start collecting immediately, you receive that $44,640 every year for the rest of your life. But let's say you turn 70 in January, and you don't file until the following January when you're 71. You've waited 12 months. You missed 12 monthly payments of $3,720. That's $44,640 you'll never receive, and you get nothing in return for that wait. Your benefit at 71 is exactly the same as it would have been at 70. Now multiply that by a couple. If both spouses delay past 70, you're potentially losing $80,000 to $90,000 in that single year. And that's not just a one-time loss. Because you started benefits a year later, you've effectively shortened your collection period by 1 year. If you live to 90, instead of collecting for 20 years, you're collecting for 19 years. That's 1 full year of benefits, 80 or 90,000, completely forfeited. I've seen people make this mistake constantly. They turn 70 in March. They think, I'll file next year when I turn 71. Or maybe I'll wait until I really need the money. And they don't realize they're costing themselves thousands of dollars every single month they delay. The rule is simple and absolute. File for Social Security the month you turn 70, not later. There is no advantage to waiting. The delayed credits have stopped. You're just giving away money. Now there's one exception. If your birthday is January 1st, Social Security considers you to have attained age 70 in the prior year, December. So you'd want to file effective December of the year before you turn 70. But for everyone else, the month you turn 70, file immediately. At BlackRock, When we have clients approaching 70 who've been delaying Social Security, we set calendar reminders months in advance. 3 months before their 70th birthday, we schedule the filing. We don't leave it to chance, because the cost of missing this deadline, even by a few months, is too high. So if you're 69 right now, put this on your calendar. The month you turn 70, file for Social Security. Lock in your maximum benefit. Don't wait. Move number 2. Complete your final Roth conversions before age 73. If you've been following optimal retirement tax strategy, you've been doing Roth conversions during the window between when you retire and when you start Social Security. Maybe you retired at 65. From 65 to 70, your income was low. Just some part-time work or investment income. You had room in the lower tax brackets. So you converted chunks of your traditional IRA to Roth IRA every year, paying 12 or 22% tax rates, moving money from taxable accounts to tax-free accounts. That's exactly the right strategy. But at 70, the window starts closing. You just filed for Social Security, so your income jumped by 30 or 40,000. At 73, required minimum distributions begin, adding another 30 or 40,000 or more to your income. Once those two income sources are locked in, you have very little room left for Roth conversions without jumping into much higher tax brackets or triggering Medicare IRMAA surcharges. So the years between 70 and 72 are your last chance to do meaningful Roth conversions at reasonable tax rates. This is the final window. After 73, the math changes and conversions generally don't make sense anymore. Here's how to think about it. You're 70. You just started Social Security. 40,000 annually. You're withdrawing another 20,000 from taxable accounts to cover expenses. Your total income is 60,000. You're married filing jointly. The 22% tax bracket goes up to 94,300. You have about 34,000 of room left in that bracket. So you convert 34,000 from traditional IRA to Roth. You pay 22% tax, about 7,500. That's reasonable. You've moved 34,000 into a tax-free account forever. You do this at 70, 71, and 72. That's roughly 100,000 converted over 3 years, paying about 22,000 in total taxes at the 22% rate. Great deal. But at 73, RMDs begin. Let's say your RMD is 35,000. Now your income is 40,000. Social Security plus 20,000 withdrawals plus 35,000 RMD. That's 95,000. You're already at the top of the 22% bracket just from required sources. If you try to do a Roth conversion on top of that, you're immediately in the 24% bracket or higher. Plus you might trigger IRMAA, which spikes your Medicare premiums. The effective tax rate on the conversion could be 30 or 35%. Not worth it. So the strategic move is to accelerate your final conversions between 70 and 72. Don't wait until 73 when RMDs start. By then, it's too late. Use these 3 years aggressively. Convert as much as you can while staying in the 22% bracket or below. Max out the room you have. Now you might be thinking, why do Roth conversions at all? Why pay taxes now? The answer is future tax savings and flexibility. Money in a Roth grows tax-free. Withdrawals are tax-free. It doesn't count toward Medicare IRMAA thresholds. It doesn't cause Social Security to be taxed. And Roth IRAs have no RMDs during your lifetime, so the money can keep growing and eventually pass to your heirs completely tax-free. Over a 20 or 30-year retirement, having a substantial Roth balance can save you $50,000 to $100,000 in taxes, compared to keeping everything in traditional IRAs and being forced to take large taxable RMDs every year. But you have to do the conversions before 73. That's the window. At BlackRock, we model Roth conversion strategies for every client. We calculate exactly how much to convert each year from retirement through age 72 to maximize the tax arbitrage. Then at 73, we stop. The window has closed. If you're 70 right now and you haven't been doing Roth conversions, you have 3 years left. Work with your CPA, model your income, figure out how much you can convert at 70, 71, and 72 while staying in acceptable tax brackets. Then execute. Don't let this window close without taking advantage of it. Move number 3. Lock in your healthcare coverage decisions permanently. At 70, several healthcare coverage decisions become permanent or significantly more expensive if you wait. This is your last reasonable opportunity to address 3 specific areas. First, long-term care insurance. If you don't already have coverage and you want it, 70 is the absolute latest you should apply. After 70, premiums skyrocket. What might cost $6,000 annually at 70 could be $10,000 or $12,000 at 75. And by 75, you're more likely to have health conditions that cause you to be declined entirely or rated up with massive surcharges. The brutal reality is that most people who wait past 70 to buy long-term care insurance either can't get it or can't afford it. The window has closed. So if you're going to buy coverage, you need to do it at or before 70. Now, maybe you don't want traditional long-term care insurance. Maybe you're planning to self-insure. That's a valid choice, but you need to make that decision explicitly at 70. You need to calculate how much you need to set aside. If you're self-insuring and you need to reserve $300,000 for potential long-term care costs, that changes your overall retirement plan. You need to know that now at 70, so you can adjust your spending and investment strategy accordingly. Second, life insurance conversions. If you have term life insurance with a conversion option, those options typically expire at 70 or 75. A conversion option allows you to convert your term policy to a permanent policy without medical underwriting. This can be valuable if your health has declined and you wouldn't qualify for a new policy. At 70, review any term policies you have. Check the conversion deadline. If you want to convert, do it now before the option expires. Once it's gone, if you want permanent coverage later, you'll have to go through medical underwriting, and you might be declined or charged prohibitive rates. Third, Medigap plan availability. Most Medigap decisions happen at 65 during your guaranteed issue window, but there are a few plan types, specifically Plan C and Plan F, that were closed to new enrollees starting in 2020. If you enrolled in one of these plans before 2020, you're grandfathered and you can keep it. But if you didn't, you can't get them now. At 70. If you're in a Medigap plan that's still available but you're thinking about switching, understand that switching gets harder as you age. Insurance companies can require medical underwriting. If your health has declined, you might not qualify for a new plan or you'll pay much higher premiums. So at 70, review your Medigap coverage. If you're happy with it, great, stay put. But if you're considering changes, do it now while you're still relatively young and healthy. Don't wait until 75 or 80 when switching becomes nearly impossible. The broader point is that 70 is your last checkpoint for healthcare coverage. After 70, your options narrow dramatically. Costs increase. Underwriting becomes more strict. You lose flexibility. So use 70 as a forcing function to finalize all your healthcare coverage decisions. At BlackRock, we do a comprehensive healthcare coverage review with every client at age 70. We look at long-term care insurance, life insurance, Medigap plans, and we make sure everything is optimized and locked in. Because we know that after 70, changes become very difficult. Let me bring all 3 moves together. At age 70, file for Social Security immediately. Delayed retirement credits stop at 70, so waiting costs you money every single month. Complete your final Roth conversions between 70 and 72 before RMDs begin at 73 and close the window. And lock in all healthcare coverage decisions, long-term care insurance, life insurance conversions, and Medigap plans, while you still have options and reasonable pricing. These three moves are not theoretical. They're practical, time-sensitive actions that have enormous financial impact. Filing for Social Security at 70 instead of 71 saves you $40,000 to $50,000 over a retirement. Optimized Roth conversions between 70 and 72 save you $50,000 to $80,000 in future taxes. And getting healthcare coverage locked in at 70 instead of waiting until 75 saves you $30,000 to $50,000 in premiums and ensures you actually have coverage. Add it up, and you're looking at $120,000 or more in benefits maximized and costs avoided. That's the value of treating 70 as a critical action point instead of just another birthday. I've spent 40 years helping people navigate retirement. The clients who do best, who maximize every dollar of benefits, who minimize taxes, who have comprehensive coverage, are the ones who recognize these critical ages. 60 for catch-up contributions and health evaluations, 65 for Medicare decisions, 70 for Social Security filing and final Roth conversions, 73 for RMD strategies. Each age has specific moves that must be executed at that moment. Miss the window and you pay the price permanently. You're 70 years old or approaching it. Don't treat this as just another year. Treat it as the maximum benefit lock moment. File for Social Security. Complete your Roth conversions. Lock in healthcare coverage. These three moves are mandatory. Execute them and you'll maximize your lifetime benefits. Ignore them and you'll leave over $100,000 on the table. The choice is yours. But the window is closing. Act now.